Email us today for a free catalog to browse all of our traps and snares, baits and lures, and much more. Get all of your trapping and predation control needs by emailing to info@NorthAmericanTrapper.com for your free catalog. Proven products equals proven conservation.
Well, it's another day in the warehouse. Miss Renee's breaking down boxes. You having fun putting oil in today?
Actually, I don't mind that job at all.
You're all right with the oil?
Yep, they pour nice. That's the cleaner job.
Yesterday, we had a little conversation with Mike Marciata, and all this fur here is needed to be gone through by me to grade and figure out what we're going to use for, whether it's a garment or whether we're going to put it on the rack for sale as a wall hanger. A lot of these came from our Kansas trip, and I'm actually going to go through all of them. I'm going to talk a little bit about the fur and what we look for when we choose a garment versus a possible wall hanger, but it'll give you a good dissertation on what I look for in the fur. If it's going to hang on my wall, it has to pass the litmus test of it's almost perfect, unless it's got a really sentimental value. But if it's something that's going on the wall, I definitely want it to be like, wow, that's a really nice pelt. There's a badger out in Montana that's beautiful. The pale coyote I caught in Montana. My dad's beavers that I have, his last red fox, all of those are in the house. But ultimately, the other day, I'll try and remember when I go home to do this video, I mentioned the coyote that my dad caught and was on the back of the catalog. I'm going to try and remember to take a shot of that so I can show everybody, but I'll show you some of the fur in the house too that I have that means something. But this batch right here, there's some coons in there that weighed over 30 pounds. We showed the one that weighed 32 and a half, and we're going to go through those and kind of talk a little bit about it. And I really don't know where this conversation is going today, but we will make it work and try and help anybody out there watching, no matter what we cover, get a little more knowledge. This is basically, other than the silver fox, the red fox, and the bobcats. I actually got the bobcats from a friend of mine, Mr. Jim Spencer. These are all Arkansas cats. Pretty decent bellies on them. Tanning process nicked a couple of them. But what I'm doing, I'm actually gonna go through each of these pelts and determine whether we're gonna use them for possibly making our earmuffs, headbands, the gnomes, those type of things. And what I'm looking for a wall hanger, a true wall hanger, I'm looking for a really nice back, no imperfections, and a pretty good belly as well, with a full tail and no major issues with it. Through the tanning process, some things happen, whether it's the way they were shaved or the way they were skinned. A lot of different things can happen in the tanning process, and this one here has a pretty decent belly, but right in the middle of the back here, it's got a little, you can see maybe right here, it's got a piece that slipped. It might be from the process of skinning. It's actually a hole that's right in the middle of the back. I think that was probably from the tanning process being shaved a little more. So that one will not make the wall hanger. And if anybody's ever looking to buy one of our pelts, this is what I do with each pelt to make sure that it is something that can be hung on the wall. What we'll do with this, we can take that belly, we can use that for the hat on one of our gnomes. We can make earmuffs out of that belly. we can make, we won't be able to make a headband because the headbands come from the middle strip. We might be able to get a headband out of that one because that is a pretty good wide strip with some, not, you know, very distinct spots, but white, black, it'd still make a nice one. But that's gonna go in the rejection pile. Moving on, we did talk about the skunk. Mike was gracious to come down here, and I hope you guys enjoyed that time I was with him. I always enjoy him stopping by, but you know, just in the 10, 12, 15 minutes we were talking, you can see the wealth of knowledge he has, and he's most definitely probably forgot more than I actually even know. But we were talking about the skunk. This is actually a really nice skunk pelt. This is the one that if anybody saw the video where Bill Duke was with me out in Kansas, this is where I had like 4 or 5 critters and I shot the skunk first and he sprayed all around the area before I got the rest of the critters taken care of. So you should probably shoot the skunks last if you have these in the area where you have other critters. But we were talking, that's a really good pelt, so that's gonna go in the pile over here where we'll put that on the wall hanger. But skunks, you can get, if you sell that, 50, 60 bucks because of the value of the pelt, the value of the tanning, the value of the process. 50, 60 bucks. In a bigger skunk, you can get even more. The skunk essence, 20, 30 bucks an ounce. You can get money for the skull. So the skunk is actually a really good animal to actually catch. This raccoon here, I really don't even need to look at the pelt because somehow his tail got missing in the process. It's actually a really nice raccoon, really good prime raccoon that would probably have made the wall hanger, but that's gonna go in the rejection pile because no tail. We can't sell a raccoon for a wall hanger that doesn't have a tail. This is a pretty good, I don't expect any of these raccoons to not have good prime fur because they were all caught in Kansas in December, which is actually the perfect time. That's actually a really nice pelt. Put that one over there. Shake this one out. This looks to be a really good pelt too. And you can see the under fur is really thick as well. Goes back to that primeness, that time of year. That's actually a really nice pelt, good tail. That's a good one. These beaver, these 2 beaver, there's one here and oh, there's the other one. These 2 beaver are the 2 beaver that I caught when I was in Illinois at the Sour Farm. My good friends Jenny and Mark, and they have me out every year. Their father, his name was Hunter, and God rest his soul, he passed away about the same time that my father passed away. So we talk sometimes and we get into kind of talking about our fathers as well. But I'll be going back out there. But these are 2 really nice beaver. They were not blanket beaver, but they were extra large beaver, probably in that 55, 60 inch range. And you can see the job that we get done, that full garment tan. And they're really 2 really nice beaver. I'll probably end up sending one of them to Jenny. They have a little daughter named Hunter, and I will probably send one of them for little Hunter, and we'll do the other one in our gnomes or make something out of it. Here's a really nice, I did catch some when I was out there in Kansas. I caught some really nice possums. I mean, look at the size of that thing. And the pelt is just a really good pelt. The underbelly's really nice. That's a good possum. These were all really nice, good furred possums that we caught when we were out there. And there's no better time for anybody out there that's getting into this, wondering when you're gonna get the most value for your fur, your pelts. There's no better time than that December time frame to get out there. Your pelts are gonna be fully primed. They're not gonna be rubbed up, whether it be the raccoon or the coyote or whatever. And as long as they don't have mange or something like that, you're gonna catch this even small possum here. Just a really good pelt. And that's what we make the beards for the gnomes with, the possum beards, but they're all really good, high quality there. But as I was saying, if you're gonna go out as a beginner looking to get into trapping, the best time to do it is gonna be after Thanksgiving up to Christmas. And that's, I mean, you can see just how thick these pelts are. This isn't a very large raccoon, but just an unbelievable, even the underbelly is just thick. That's the time. You wanna be out there just after Thanksgiving up to Christmas, and that's when you're gonna get the highest quality pelt. And then the second thing you're gonna have to do, you're gonna have to put your pelts up properly. Case skin these coons. As you can see, this is a really good raccoon as well. That's gonna be a really nice wall hanger. That's one of the nicer ones that I've seen so far as length and quality of the pelt. But you can see, I mean, these are big raccoons. And as we showed you, the one was 32.5 pounds, but this one's different too. It's got that metallic streak down the back. Really, really nice, thick, lush, prime raccoon. I'll get my ADD under control and get back to the beginner out there. If you are looking to do this, you are gonna have to put your fur up properly, and that's part of the process as well. So it's not just out there catching the fur when it's prime, it's being out there catching the fur when it's prime and then putting it up properly. And there's a lot of different videos out there. We have one in our beginner series that shows you a full process of the raccoon, where you skin it, flesh it, and put it on the boards. But that's information that will help you get the most out of your fur. This one is a little odd. It's a little narrow. That's gonna definitely be a beard. We'll throw that in the rejection pile. That's not gonna make the wall hanger. As I move through these, I do put all the wall hangers over here, and then I go through them a second time to where the litmus test is when I hang it on my wall. Some of them, to this point, I think they will, but I'll give them a better look once that's done and decide. And if they won't go on my wall, they're not gonna go on somebody else's, because we're not gonna sell it. This is another example, just probably through the fleshing process. There's a hole in the pelt, right in the middle of the back. That's gonna be a rejection. You can see the size of this bobcat. This was a really big bobcat, but we have, man, that would have been a really nice wall hanger. But through the process, we got an imperfection right here in the middle of the back, and we're gonna be able to do something with this to get our value out of it, but it's not gonna make the wall hanger pile. This one's a little smaller. It's a little less pretty to me. It doesn't have a lot of that black in the belly. This looks to be a kitten, or just past the kitten stage. So that's not gonna make the wall hanger as well. And then we'll do one more bobcat and move on. This one here looks like it's got a really nice belly. Actually, it does. It's got a pretty decent belly, and actually, it's got a little bit of brown in it as well. Orange and brown with the white. The back looks pretty good, and that one there is pretty good size. That'll probably have a chance to be a wall hanger. And then we'll just check one more bobcat here. This one's got that unique leopard type. It's not a leopard cat, but it's got the makings, or the start of it. It's got some of that coloration, and it's got a pretty decent belly as well. I'm just hoping that I don't run my hands and arm up through here and find a hole, which I did. I jinxed myself. I found the hole. It's actually on the side, which is not gonna hurt because we're gonna be able to use that whole belly. That might make a really nice headband, but that's a rejection for the wall hanger. Moving forward, you'll see these red foxes that I bought. I did not catch these. I actually purchased these from somebody, and you can look at the size of that red fox. Now, obviously, this is a ranch fox. It's got all 4 feet with claws. This is what's considered a taxidermy tan, and we will offer this to some of the people that I know that are taxidermists that buy a lot of the taxidermy stuff, and if they don't want it, it will make a really, really nice wall hanger. So that's going to be a definite there. And then I've got probably 12, 13. This one's still got the price tag on from the person I bought it from. 12, 13 of these. These are the silver foxes, same thing. It's beautiful. You've got the 4 paws with the claws, taxidermy tan, and we'll do the same with that for the processes there. But we've got more Bobcats, a bunch more Bobcats to go through. We've got a bunch of the silvers. We've got more of the red fox. I mean, just honestly, look at the size of these. I can't express it. Anybody who's never seen one of these up close and the just thickness and lushness of these ranch fox versus a wild fox, same with the ranch mink versus a wild mink, there's just so much difference in that. I'm gonna finish going through these. There's no use having you watch the whole process. Here's one I can tell already. That's a small coon. It's got a hole in the belly. That's going to be a rejection. But I'll finish these up, and then we'll talk a little bit more once I get towards the end on how you can. That's another one that's got a little imperfection. Here's a nice possum. Look at the size of that possum. But for you new people out there that are getting into this, that's what you're looking for. Even the possum. And I will go further on the possum. The possum, to me, is the most underutilized fur that there is. It's really a soft, pliable pelt that you can do a lot of different things with. I've seen that, we don't make them, but I've seen a lot of people make the possum gloves, possum scarves, possum or stoles, and possum different things. And it's just a really nice, to me, underutilized fur pelt. And pretty much every one of these possums that we got out there in Kansas are just huge, huge possums. And Kansas is one of those places that, if you've never been there, is an absolute utopia of wildlife. It's really a fantastic state to go hunt, trap, a lot of different outdoor adventures out there to where it's sportsman's paradise. Just like South Dakota. I spent a lot of time in South Dakota over the last 4 years, 5 years, and it's just a sportsman's paradise. But Kansas is right there with it. And look at the size of this skunk. And that's a really nice double stripe going down, separated. That's a really nice skunk pelt right there. And that was caught out in Kansas as well on our trip. But I'll finish these up. But you beginners out there that are looking to go out there and trap, I'd recommend, if you're looking to get high quality fur that has the primeness and the thickness and the lushness of these type of animals, you want to be out there trapping from about Thanksgiving to Christmas, and that's going to give you the best opportunity to catch the pelts that are going to bring you the most value, whether you sell them on the market, whether you tan them, whether you give them away as gifts. They are going to be the exact critter that you want. But we'll finish these up and we'll go through them again. Well, we're getting towards the end here. We've already separated them out, and this is the second time I've gone through them. You can see I'm actually sweating. But these are the last of them. This one, the reason they're put back up here is there was something that caught my eye that I didn't like completely, but this one actually, you can look how big they are. I mean, that's my whole arm up over my shoulder. And you can just see the thickness and the lush, even the underbelly. Just fantastic raccoons that we caught out there. That's gonna be a wall hanger. There's another one, another big one up over my shoulder. And that's probably what caught my eye. You can see how it's kind of matted down, and there's a separation there in the fur, in the hide itself. But other than that, it's just a really good raccoon. But you know what? I wouldn't like that on my wall. I'm kind of anal about that stuff. But you can see here the whole pile, the silver foxes, the red fox, the bobcats, the coons, what little skunks and beavers and possums that we have. And then over here on the left is our rejection pile. And that rejection pile is a little bit bigger than I had hoped it would be, especially with the number of bobcats that I put in there. It's probably 6 or 8 bobcats in there, and I got a couple other bobcats like this one over here that there was something I didn't like, and I'm gonna re-examine them a lot more in depth. But that's a real pretty good belly for an Arkansas cat. Spots all the way out the underleg and the back. I don't see anything that is making me think that that can't be a wall hanger. That's actually a really nice big bobcat, so that's gonna make the wall hanger. Here's another bobcat. As I said, I like to do this twice. Oh, that's a really nice belly. Look how fluffy that is. That's really nice. I don't see anything that's, maybe it was the way I was holding it, but that's a wall hanger. And there's another bobcat here. Actually, I put this one back. It's gonna be a wall hanger because it's so lush. This actually looks like a lynx, and it literally has a lot softer fur than the other bobcats. And it's a Arkansas bobcat, but it's got the, you know, the bobcat belly, but it's got that gray tint to it. I would say this is probably a 1-year-old cat just above a kitten because of its size, but I wish you could feel this from a regular, you maybe be able to tell here. It's not coarse, but it's a little rougher. I guess that's the word I'm looking for. But this one is more plush and softer. And it's got the markings of, or colorations, we'll say, of getting towards the lynx. But that's actually, even though it's a small cat, is a really soft and awesome cat. So we are going to make that a wall hanger as well. And whoever gets that is going to be probably pretty pleased because of the plushness of it. But we're finishing up here. We got a couple more. Here's a smaller raccoon. I don't see what, maybe it was the couple nipples there that I didn't like, but it's not as big as the other ones, but that's a pretty nice raccoon. Here's one that's a little off tint. I think that's, yeah, there's what it was. I threw it there. It's got a little hole in the side, so that's definitely gonna go over there into the rejection pile. And then the last one here is another just absolute, I can't even reach the tip of the nose, and it's all the way up over my shoulder. You can see the size of that raccoon. I mean, these things were like walking up to the trap. We were using all dog proofs, but they were sitting there and they were like mini grizzly bears. I know it gets redundant a lot of times where I thank you for your business, and I appreciate your support. I really do. I can't do this without being able to provide a service to you guys and girls that buy your stuff from us, and we really truly do appreciate that, or I'd probably be over at the steel mill right now looking at 100 plus degree iron ore. But these, I think, are really top shelf. Coon pelts sell for $70 on the website. These are personally caught by me, and if you made it this far in the video, you probably deserve 30%. So we're gonna run a 30% sale on these Kansas raccoons that are literally laying in this pile right here. Well, they will come out of that pile, and I won't pick the smallest ones. I'll pick the best first. But we'll give you 30% off with web code Kansas. We'll just do web code Kansas, KANSAS, all capital letters. You'll get 30% off, and it'll be a personal raccoon that I caught in Kansas on the trip last year. With that, you know, all you beginners out there that want to catch some of your own fur, that want to enjoy this, and it's really enjoyable. It's an awesome process. The trapping process, the fur handling process, getting it back in the boxes, seeing what your fur looks like process. The whole one with nature thing is really cool. And for all you out there that are looking to try this, it makes a great gift. If you want to give the pelt away, it's a lot more personable than a gas card or a Walmart card. It's actually something that you put your heart and soul into, and people respect that. I give the gifts of the pelts to all of the landowners and people that I go and spend time with. We're always, trying to show them that we appreciate it, and we give them a specific animal off of their land that is a great conversation piece for them. But I highly recommend, if you do trap, get it tanned. The market's absolute dog shit right now. Those raccoons, if I'd have sold them at market, probably sold for $4. Now they would have probably doubled the average. I think they averaged $2, but those were some really good top shelf raccoons, and they would have averaged a lot more. But in the essence of the game, in the essence of the tradition, in the essence of the sport itself, this process that I just did is really awesome. And as I said earlier, there's no better time to be catching the fur than Thanksgiving through Christmas. That's where you're going to have these full prime, awesome pelts from awesome animals. I know a lot of times the antis and everybody out there will tell you that, they're just heathens. They don't respect animals. They hate animals. And that's just the farthest thing from the truth. In actuality, it's 180 degrees. I love these animals. I love seeing them run. I took my son spotlight last weekend. We went over, stayed at my dad's place, and went spotlighting, and 3 little ones ran across the road in front of us. I didn't even see mama, but 3 little coons ran across right after we get done spotlighting the one field. We hit the light in these little pine trees, and all 3 of them were up in the pine trees looking at us. They were only about 2-3 feet off the ground, but how cool is that? And if we've been sitting at home watching some stupid movie or something that we're probably not gonna even remember tomorrow, we wouldn't have had that experience. And trapping's that same type of experience. Getting out there, creating those memories, and having the fruits of your labor to play with for years down the road. So I hope you enjoyed it. This little dissertation on the fur and showing you what I look for as far as what goes to be produced into a fur item, or what gets placed as a potential wall hanger for somebody out there looking for one. The brand is so much bigger than myself or anybody involved with what we're doing. It's the tradition of, it's that woodsmanship that these kids and even adults can learn just by being out there. That's what we're trying to do. Trying to get people involved, trying to get people to feel that. And every time you go out there with them, you're experiencing that outdoors through them. We're showing the simplicity of things, and we're trying to debunk a lot of those myths that maybe scares people away from doing it at times, thinking that, it's just too hard, there's too much into it. No, it's pretty easy, and we're going to show you how easy it is, and you're going to be able to go out and do it.
Get started trapping those problem animals and nest raiders today. Become the steward of your own land or lease. Visit NorthAmericanTrapper.com.